It's Priscilla in Spring Hill at Expressionist Art Studio Gallery. And this is take 2, and yes, you do see some white wet paint on this canvas, and it is a hot day out here in the summertime in August. And I am going to hope that now that I have my glasses, I can see the difference between white canvas and white paint. And I've been talking about and thinking about and wanting to do a black and white canvas for a long time. I'm not saying I don't have gold and silver standing by, but that is really my plan. This is my OXO Good Grips omelet turning spatula. This is the big one. The less expensive one is the large one, and the one you want to buy. It's on my Amazon link just under the video at the very top if you should so desire to know about that. It spreads paint awesomely well. I want some random patterns. Whatever I get, and whatever I do on top of that will be a new plan. I probably should have made up my, I don't know if you can see over here to my right, I have a little pile of children's plastic shovels from the dollar store. They came with buckets too. Anyway, buckets are irrelevant at this point, but black and white paint usually makes some interesting selling patterns, and I love black and white anyway. I'm trying not to dip too much of anything into anything else right yet, because I'll get gray in time soon enough. This is not what I expect to be any kind of a typical pour. This is whatever it is. This is black and white. I want a new carry-all bag, and I want a black and white one, and so I am contemplating that this might be how I get what I want. We'll see. Soon enough. So there's some bright sunshine. It's already 90 plus out here, I'm sure. But I have something cold around my neck, and I did forget to put it on my camera, but that doesn't mean that I couldn't take a little time off in between. I'd really like to be able to make this whole video without having to stop and cool my camera off, and that's kind of a tall order. Okay, so I have to be quick now, and hopefully you can see what I've got over here. And what I have over here are 4 shovels, and I don't know what's going to happen with them, but I suspect that we're going to get some different stuff happening if I just keep allowing the paint to do as it pleases. And basically we're talking about a ribbon pour. I've never done this before, and whatever I get is what I get, and I've got Rain-X standing by if I need it. And now I'm going to make a little space for myself if I need it. And I'm going to take my shovels, and I'm going to try and cover the area where it crosses over. These are my Princeton Catalyst spatulas. I like to take the paint right out of my whatever I'm using, be it a dustpan from the dollar store. Check it out on my playlist if you haven't seen them. I know we can tip this stuff. I know I know I can run my bamboo skewer through it. I know I can add other colors to it. That's going in the bucket for right now. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm just going to take my spatula and make sure I'm covered for now. Being black and white, I have the utmost confidence that I'm going to have the capacity to cover the sides at some other point in time. I'm also working on a 16 by 16 inch tile on a rotating Lazy Susan, but the painting's bigger than the tile, so I don't really feel like I have much choice. I am really curious to see what's going to happen with this. I got to tell you what, I need to offset that so it's supported, please, tile. Alright, so I'm going to take my bamboo skewer, and because I can, I'm going to dip it in and move it around any way that seems like a good idea. And I'm going to do the same thing with the white that I just did with the black, and I'm going to pull that around. It's sort of like a stiff version of pulling chain or yarn or string or whatever. And as long as the paint stays wet, which is a big if, you know, at this point. Let's move these over so they don't get in my way. Look at the cells on that spatula. That is so cool. Okay, so I'm seeing all kinds of cool stuff happening. I haven't really started to make my idea of a composition happen because I just want some paint in the areas where I didn't join the black and the white. I'm going to keep that paint right there. There's no rules with this piece. I probably need an edge catcher, but in lieu of an edge catcher, I'm just going to pull that right down here and throw a little more. I don't know if you can see that. Hopefully you can see that. I'm going to scrape off my spatula, even though it's got wonderful colors on it. I'm going to try and more gently drag my spatula when I go to create those patterns, because I don't want to scrape up a whole lot of canvas. And as long as paint is wet, it will heal itself most of the time, but being that it's hot, I don't have any proof that that's going to be the way that works right now. But I do have the availability to do whatever I want as far as swiping with my spatulas go, or adding more paint from my squeeze bottles. I love my squeeze bottles. Like I said, as long as the paint is wet, I can do all kinds of stuff. And if it's not wet enough, let's just take this and see what we get over here. All bets are off for this piece. This is just supposed to be dramatic, just for my own pleasure and fun, and we'll get what we get. I may still try and use a torch. It doesn't have to be anything other than whatever it is I want it to be, which includes pouncing bouncing my spatula around in a bunch of random patterns, just because it makes some cool texture. And I'm a big fan of cool texture, and because I can. Boy, it's hot. I wish I'd put that ice pack on my camera. But I did get some moisture built up inside the monitor, and I really didn't think that it was such a great idea after that. Even though I got away with it a bunch of times, I just as soon not waste that camera right now. I see that. I see that. That's all paint drying because of the heat. And quick, before I get... Oh, I'm going to cover that edge. I've got spilled paint. And fingers are my favorite tool. Okay. Whatever tool is in my hand at the moment is my favorite tool. Let's not get that wrong. Alright, so I can see that I still have the need to play. And I'm going to take whatever's handy and play with it. Now it's true, 20 minutes is not a long time, but I've been doing this a while and my instincts are pretty good, and I have a fair amount of trust for myself. And also I know if I really hate something, I can go back and do what I've been doing recently and going, hey, that canvas just doesn't do it for me, and I'm going to do something to it. And I'm going to dip my spatula right in that white paint over there and see what happens. I'd like to have enough of this stay moist so that I could use the torch on it, to tell you the truth. But I'm not minding the drama we've got so far. And what? And nothing. And it's drying really fast, so I better move on it as quickly as possible. I'm just going to keep wiping my spatula off over the edge because there's paint on it, and putting what's left of my paint from my shovel wherever it looks like there's a good place to put it. Okay, so that's pretty simple so far. I've got a whole bunch of more paint. I'm gonna Gonna hopefully let it all slide out nicely. I'm gonna come back here and help it. Go right back up there and right down here. Now there's 4 of those. And I don't know if I can fake a 5th one or not, but I still have more paint in my spatula. I'm pretty pleased with my patterns. I don't really want to waste any. I only have 1 shovelful left, and that's kind of cool. And I still have the option, I'm going to put that right over the side. Still have the option, do I like that? I don't know. I'm trying to go so fast I'm messing with myself. Yeah, I think a different spatula probably would have been the way to go on that, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to come over here. No, I'm not. Come over here. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? I'm going to attempt to lessen the dramatic streak I have there with a nice clean spatula, and then screw it up again. Okay then, I guess that's supposed to be there. So let's just embrace accidental art. Give it a little pounce and add some texture and not worry for the moment. And use the other spatula to get more paint off of it. Cool. Okay, I'm still liking that. I'm still having, oh, I like all of this. Wow, neat. Okay, well, I don't really want to put a serious ton of paint over there, but I did want that mark. I'm going to take my cleaner spatula and wipe it off. Hopefully you can see this. We are now dealing with quite a bit of dry black. So that's not going to be super helpful to me if I want to do something like make cells. So what I'm going to try and do is clean that off up there, knowing that the full well that I can do whatever I want, because I can, and I do. So let's just hit it briefly. Well, we can. I don't think there's going to be any Rain-X in this future. I'm loving my textures, and I'm happy with my drama. And I've got, oh, and my shovel dumped out. Let's see what happens with that. Ah, that's too bad. Okay, I must have nudged it. So I'm going to go in. Hopefully there's no bugs in there. And make do. Get creative with what you've got. That's going to have to go in the bucket. Oh well. Looks like it was ready for cleaning anyway, to tell you the truth. So, I don't know what I did with my other spatula. But I've still got this one, and I've got a little paint in here. And I'm not minding it, and that's going in the bucket as well. So, whatever's falling over the sides, I'm just going to rub down in place. And oftentimes when you have spilled paint, it does all kinds of cool stuff while you're not looking. And I like that up there. I don't know if it's worth trying to mess with it or not. I'm going to give it a little bit. Okay. It's at such an odd angle. I actually really like everything that's happening up there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use what's in my spatula, excuse me, in my shovel. There's my other one. Right there in front of me. Figures, it's really hot out here. I think I mentioned that. But I'm not unhappy with this so far, and I'd like to have a moment to have a look at it, honestly. And we have 6 minutes left. And I will tell you, if you enjoy my videos, I don't have any income other than art I sell once in a while, kind of rarely. But more often now that people are seeing me on YouTube. That's cool. Thank you. And thank you to all my contributors who have kept me painting and in canvases recently, because it's you that's done that. To tell you the truth, I wouldn't be doing it if you hadn't helped me out. So anybody who wants to help also wants to help. Patreon and PayPal donation links and buttons. The links are in my description under my video, along with the recipe for my paint mixture. And there's icons on my YouTube header. Hey, that's a nice breeze. Yay. Very cool. No pun intended. All right, so I like this white line, but I think I need something more. To break it up a little. Yeah, I'm not unhappy with that. I've got a pretty drip down there. And I can do whatever I want. Good to remind myself of that once in a while. I can do that. Not unhappy with that. What do I want to do with it? Anything? I want to kind of break it up a little bit. Make it look a little less contrived and a little more organic. The temptation is to, you know, come in here with gold, but that's not this painting, so I'm not minding that. Every time, because it's black and white, every time I have a moment, I'm just going to keep adding paint to the parts that are missing on the edges, because it's 2 inches wide. Well, sort of, kind of. They lie. But never mind. I think they know we know that they lie about the size of canvases. Okay, so hopefully we're still in your shot. I would love to put a little bit of paint right onto my skewer and see what happens when I combine what's on the skewer drama. Good drama. Could use a little color. I'm liking that. I am. I'm having a good time. I'm liking that. Okay then. I guess that's going over there. Fine. Be that way. Let's just join a few things together before everything decides to become something else. Because of the heat. I like all this over here. It kind of makes me want to have something else go on there. So, my plan at this exact moment is coming together at this exact moment. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm having fun doing it. And I don't have to stop unless the timer goes off, and then I'll reset it. I really don't want to take all the time I need to cover those sides right now. But I don't seem to be able to stop myself either. Especially since I know how fast things are drying out here right now. There's usually a touch-up with black. A lot of times, black will become somewhat see-through. That's so cool and dramatic. What I was thinking about when I put that black line down there was allowing another batch of white to become part of the design. Because I know we will get some interesting patterns and cells when we agitate black and white together. Hopefully that doesn't look, yeah, it looks okay. Nope, not minding that. That's fine. I think I'm going to take the torch to it one more time. We got 1 minute left. Which for me means that I want to do something up here. Maybe the same difference. Let's just see what happens, shall we? I'm not certain about that, but I'm not hating it either.